Hey guys, Brian delivers you the goods here. I am so sorry to delay this Worst Songs of 2025 end of the year video, but here it is. The worst songs of 2025, then the best songs of 2025 will be out December 1st to be technical because I've had to delay it due to running some errands today, so I wasn't able to get around to the worst songs of 2025, but hopefully you will enjoy this midnight release. So we're going to talk about the 36 tracks, 36 to 1, and what I think are the worst songs of 2025, and I'll let you know my thoughts on which one I'll start it off with. So let's start at number 36 with Chevelle with Jim Jones, Cowards Part 2. I'm going to be honest, I was not a fan of this one. I mean, the record was solid. It was not a bad record, but it wasn't Chevelle's best. I still think this song really described how bad this was. It was just a disappointing track, so I was let down by Chevelle. I think Pete's singing was kind of cringe through this song, and it was a shame because I think Chevelle's very talented of a band, but this song did not work for me at all. So that's my number 36 pick. You can agree to disagree, or we can agree to disagree on this track, but my opinion stands. I wasn't a fan of this track. Number 35 is Young Blood with Lovesick Lullaby. This was another disappointing one. I was trying to see if I could get used to this track, but I put it at near the top tier list because I think it's disappointing, and the rapping from Youngblood was kind of cringe. And some of the whining, singing from time to time in this track kind of gets annoying. I'm just not connecting with this track very well. So it's, a disappointing track. That's my number 35 pick. Number 34 is Baby Metal with Con Con featuring Bloodywood. What a mess of a track. I think this track was just awful and disappointing as well. I think this tried to be something. I mean, Bloodywood was good in this track, better than Baby Metal. I wasn't feeling for how Sweet Metal's singing was in this track. It was awful when the chorus came in. And overall, the verses were better with the featured artist in it. So, and also, Sue Metal's verse was pretty bad. Let's call a spade a spade. It was pretty bad. So, fuck this song. It's one of the worst tracks of 2025. At the top tier list, but it's not the worst of the worst. Number 33 is Demi Lovato with Kiss. This one did not flow very well. I was very disappointed with this track. I mean, the record was average, but this track was the downfall of her material. This song was the downfall of some of her new material. The rest of the record is solid, but it's not like the best record I've heard from Demi Lovato. Not like The Art of Starting Over, Dance with the Devil, The Art of Starting Over song, or album, I should say. That was probably my favorite. So was Holy Fuck, too. That was a good record, too. But overall, Demi Lovato Kiss, it goes back to her pop stuff from back in the day, and I think she did a lot of EDM pop techno stuff with her new record, and I know it was solid, but this track wasn't it for me. So that's my number 33 pick. Number 32 is Megadeth with I Don't Care. One of their cheesiest songs of the year. One of the cheesiest songs of this year. And very disappointing. It was the latest single for their new self-titled record that drops January 23rd of 2026, so at the start of the year. But overall, it's a bad song. I wasn't feeling for Dave Mustaine singing. It was cringe. This track was very cringe, and it did not work, so yeah, what a letdown. The lyrics were cheesy and corny, and overall the melody was not flowing very well, even with Dave Mustaine singing. Very sus, meaning cringe. So that's my number 32 pick. Number 31 is Akon with Too Cold featuring RMR. This tried something, but it failed in the process. It was not a good song. I was very let down by this track, and overall, I never really came back to this track after I heard it, and I didn't care to come back to it because it was bad. It was just filler bullshit. So, yep, Akon has fallen into this mumble rap, R&B style and reggae stuff that, for some of the melody execution, does not work. So, very let down by this song. That's my number 31 pick. Number 30 is Tame Impala with End of Summer. Now, this was a bad song, and I was very let down by this track and the new record, Deadbeat. Deadbeat was one of the worst records of this year, and it is on my worst albums of 2025. You can go check it out if you want to see what number I put it at. But overall, bad song. The mixing was not very well, even for the 7-minute track. It did nothing for me. I think Kevin Parker's singing was a little iffy. It wasn't terrible, but it was iffy. So that's my number 30 pick. I got nothing more to say. You can check out my track review for this song from August, and I was very displeased with that song when I first heard it. And when I heard it again through the Deadbeat album, I was not a fan. Number 29 is Imagine Dragons with A-OK. Now, this was a cringy song. I was very let down by Imagine Dragons with this one, and to be honest, I never really came back to this. I kind of forgot how it went because of how bad it was. It's very forgettable of a track. Imagine Dragons have fallen into this cheesy pop phase, and it's not working with the irrelevant lyrics. And whatever Dan is doing with this band or whatever, I'm not feeling for it. I was starting to like some songs from their last project, like the last two projects, which, to be honest, I forgot what the names of those albums were, but you can remind me in the comment section below. I was very pleased with I'm a Mess, or I'm a Wreck, I meant to say. That's what it's called. But that was a good one, and there was a few other ones that were solid. Bones was, it wasn't the worst, but it wasn't the best. But this one was pretty bad, so. 29, Imagine Dragons with A-OK. Number 28 is Rise Against with Nod, another bad track. I think Rise Against really flopped this year with their new record, and it is on my worst albums. You can go check it out if you have not seen that worst albums of 2025. It is one of the worst things I've heard this year. One of them. I just wasn't feeling for the sound with Tim's singing like it's like a sonophone or whatever the fuck he was singing, a microphone kind of thing. It was like this loud microphone speaker thing, and it was just not working for how it sounded. And it just didn't sound well with the mixing, and it was just cringing at this track so much. So that's my number 28 pick with Rise Against Nod. Number 27 is Thornhill with Silver Swarm, a very bad track. Thornhill has been one of my least favorite bands, and I got a little story on how I got into them. So there was this person that recommended me to check them out, and then when I reviewed it and she didn't like it, I'm like, well, too bad, so sad. You can say whatever the fuck you want, but my opinion stands. I don't like this band. I think Jacob's singing is awful, and it doesn't really keep me interested in what they have to offer, because I'm very displeased with some of their music, and technically I kind of review them just for views. So that's on my part, and I know I probably should stop doing that, but I kind of do it just to get the views, just as a little joke to me. But Just a little asshole-ish move, basically. I know it's kind of douchey of me, but whatever. But other than that, Thornhill Silver Swarm is a bad song. It's not my favorite. It is one of the worst songs this year. One of them in the most bad song section of the 2.5 area out of 5. So that's my number 27 pick. Number 26 is Skillet with O Come Emmanuel. What the fuck were they thinking with this track? Like, I like some of the melody and it sounded nice for most of it, but then they had to go hard rock and metal with John Cooper screaming at the close to the end of the track. And then the melody shifts so much in this track and it does not work. It changes a lot on you, the melody, and it is terrible mixing. Skillet needs to retire at this point because what they're doing is coming up with cringy music lately. I think the last record I would say was enjoyable from them. I would say, I know this is Unleashed would be my last favorite record from them. And then I started disliking them when Victorious came out. I thought that was an average record, but it wasn't one of my favorites. Legendary was bad. Save Me was a good song. But some of the other tracks on that record didn't flow very well. But I think when they got to their 2022 album, which, to be honest, Dominion was very bad, but not as bad as Revolution. Revolution was worse. Well, both those albums are pretty bad. So Skillet is one of the bands that usually go on my worst albums or worst songs, depending on what they release throughout the year. But this was not good music. This was shit music. And John Cooper and the band need to retire at this point because they're wasting their breath on keeping this going and writing irrelevant music. And by the way, they're very woke. They support the conservative side, but I'm not going to get into politics with that. I don't agree with that side, and I am for the left, but I'm not going to go into politics in this video. That is all I will say. Number 26 is Skillet with O Come Emmanuel. That was my number 26 pick. Number 25 is Victoria Justice with Love Zombie. I don't know, but I was very let down by this song. It was not good with her singing in it. This track I know was an old track she made, and she turned it into an EDM pop dance song, and it didn't work. It's just when she was singing it in the bridge part, it was kind of getting cringy with that scream sing. It wasn't doing very well for me. I didn't really sound like it. So that was bothersome. And the song was kind of not very great. So that was my least favorite Victoria Justice song. I like her music, don't get me wrong. I know she dropped a new single lately, which I have not. I did listen to it, but I did not review it because I don't think it's necessary to review. It's a Christmas song. Well, it's a nice Christmas song, but it's not one of my favorite songs of 2025. So that is my number 25 pick, Love Zombie by Victoria Justice. Number 24 is MGK with Your Name Forever, which is a song about his friend that passed away, which I'm very sorry that happened to him, and I'm sorry for his loss. Sorry for your loss on that regard, Mr. Colson Baker. But the song blended a lot of rap and pop punk stuff that I was not feeling for. I did not like MGK's singing. I know a lot of people say that with his new record, Lost Americana, they said it was his best record. No, it wasn't. Far from it. It was probably his worst record of this year. It's in my top 5 bad albums of the year. But overall, MGK, Your Name Forever, I know is a song he wanted to dedicate to his late friend that passed away. That was one of his touring managers or something like that. And on that regard, I put it at a certain tier list, not even in the top 20 worst songs, but in the top 25, because I did not feel for this track. I know people are going to say, oh, Brian delivered you the goods, why the fuck did you put this song in the worst songs? I'm like, I didn't like his singing, that's why, and this melody and the switch up of the track. The chorus was fine, but I wasn't feeling for his singing vocals. So that's that. Number 23 is Spiritbox with Crystal Roses. Not a great song for off their new record, Tsunami Sea. The mixing is very bad. I did not like the electronic vocals from Courtney LaPlante. It did not mix well, and it sounded irritating and cringy as fuck. It was a what the fuck kind of face I had, like, really? This is the shit you come up with? What garbage it was. I was very displeased with Spiritbox, but I was pleased with the record. Don't get me wrong. The record was good. This song wasn't. So that's my number 23 pick. Number 22 is Thornhill with Tongues. Another bad song that I'm not feeling for. Jacob's screaming was alright, but it's just the singing was irritating from him. I wasn't feeling for this Thornhill track, and off their album Bodies, it was pretty bad. So it wasn't the worst record of the year, but it was a bad record. It's in my worst albums of 2025. Definitely go check out that video. It should get some more views. I recommend it because I did a pretty good job on that video. Sorry, my voice cracked for a second. So that's my number 22 pick. I got nothing more to say on Thornhill. I think that was the last Thornhill song I listened to, and that was the last single I listened to from them. Number 21 is MGK with Vampire Diaries. This was a pop punk song, but it wasn't like as bad, not like in the top 20, but it's pretty bad of a song. It's blended with pop punk, and I'm just not feeling for Colson Baker, also known as Machine Gun Kelly's vocals in this track. It does not work. It does not sound good, and this is a bad song on the record. So that's my number 21 pick. Number 20, now we're in the top 20. Soulfly with Storm the Gates. Max Cavalera's screaming and yelling screaming is terrible as fuck. This track was bad. I was not feeling for this track. This is a big go fuck you to Soulfly because they fucking suck. I think their music is just not flowing very well. I mean, the instrumentation's fine, but it's just the mixing for how it sounds structurally with how Max Cavalera is singing this track does not work at all. So, fuck this track and fuck this band. Soulfly Storm the Gates at my number 20. Number 19 is Waterparks with If Lyrics Were Confidential. I know they dropped a new single, but I didn't listen to it because I didn't care to listen to it. It'll probably be something I'll listen to close to the end of the year and talk about it later on. But for this track, I think this track was bad, but it wasn't the worst. This track wasn't the worst, not like Red Guitar was, but this was another bad one that I was very displeased with. And it's on my number 19 because I'm not feeling for Austin Knight's singing vocals, and his rapping in this is kind of sus, and it just doesn't flow. So, it's cringy and cheesy as hell. That's my number 19. Number 18 is Blue October with Hot Stuff. I did get a lot of backlash from my track review on this. A lot of people saying, oh, your opinion is shit, and da-da-da. It's like, then why the fuck do you watch? If you don't like what I'm going to say about Blue October Hot Stuff, why are you watching? This track is bad. I don't see why this track should be praised. I think with how Justin Ferdensfeld's singing in this was, it was cringe. I think this was their worst song to date, and it came out back at the end of March, but it's still a bad song. So, number 18 was Blue October with Hot Stuff. Now to MGK again with Miss Sunshine. What the fuck was this track trying to prove? It tried to prove, oh, well, it's a bad song. I already knew it was going to be a bad song when I heard the melody and how it was sounding. And even the techno voice, the faded thing, it was not clicking with me. I know his record was meant to be a pop punk industrial rock album and rapping too mixed with it, but it did not flow. This song did not flow. It was terrible and his singing was terrible. So MGK sucks. Straight out. Number 16 is Tom MacDonald with Man in the Sky. Cringy ass song. I wasn't clicking with this one either. I think this track was cringe, and so was Tom MacDonald's singing, and I'm just not feeling for this track. It's a head shaker. Nope. This is a nope. So, that's my number 16 with Tom MacDonald, Man in the Sky. Fuck this guy. I don't really like him anyway. His politics get in the way of his music, and it really, really sucks with how he praises Donald Trump too much. It's like, who fucking cares what you think? You are an irrelevant idiot. So, that's my number 16. Number 15 is Sick Puppies with Friends Like You. Now, this one was a bad one. It was cringe. I was not feeling for Brian's singing and the fuck your sympathy thing. And this song was ear grating. It was annoying, too. It was Sick Puppy's worst track. And their album was not good. It was unfortunate that I had to put it on my best albums I think in the top 10 or something like that. Because it was a very bad record, along with that song, Fuck 'Em All. That song was cringe as hell. And corny as hell. So, fuck this song. Sick Puppies, you really fucked up with your new record. And I think waiting that long to make a record that did not flow really set you on a path of cringe. So, it's unfortunate. Number 14 is Scene Queen with L-Shaped Couch. Bad song, but it's not in the top 10, but it's in the top 15. I was very displeased with how Scene Queen was singing it, and somewhat her singing is cringe as hell. It makes me like ick. So I don't know why she made this song, but I know it was a sexual track, but I don't really give a fuck about this artist. Fuck this cringy ass bullshit that she makes. Her music is trash. It will always be trash, and the people that say they like her are fucking idiots and delusional idiots that think her music is great. It's not great. It's annoying noise. Number 13 is Dead by April with Brain Tissue. This is another bad one. I'm not pleased with this track. I think with how they came up with this, I kind of forgot about this track, to be honest. I did not come back to it when it came out earlier this year. It was a bad song, and it still is a bad song. So, fuck Dead by April, and fuck this track. Number 12 is Tom MacDonald with Can't Cancel Us All. Talking about cancel culture, it's like, who the fuck cares what you say, man? I don't want to listen to a pedophile supporter piece of crap like you. Because you're supporting Donald Trump, who is a pedophile, by the way. Which I know I'm going to get backlash on this video, and I don't give a fuck. But honestly, I'm not going to support an artist that supports a pedophile. And there are proven facts about it. So honestly, fuck this artist. Fuck his music. Tom MacDonald can shove a dildo up his ass for all I care. He is cringe and will remain cringe. So that's that. Number 11 is Dead by April again with Naked. Another bad song. I'm not feeling for the mixing and production in this track. It sounds very bad and it's very cringe. So, fuck Dead by April and fuck this track too. It's another terrible one. And now to the top 10. We got Puddle of Mud with Butamus. What the fuck was Wes Scantlin thinking? He sounds like a drunken sailor in this fucking song. He sounds like he's slurring while he sings. And it doesn't sound good. It's cringe. I think Wes Scantlin and the band have fallen to a very new low with this new album, Kiss the Machine, which is on my worst albums, by the way. I hope you enjoyed that video for worst albums of 2025, because I put a lot of effort into making it as good as possible. But this song was bad. It's my number 10. Number 9 is Water Parks with Red Guitar. What an ear-grating, annoying piece of crap song that I've heard this year. It is worthy to be in the top 10 because it's that bad. So, the song is cringe with how Austin Knight is singing it and just how his flowing and rapping is. I'm not connecting with this track. Such a flop. Such a letdown. And fuck this song. Number 8 is Ariana Grande with Hampstead. What a song with irrelevant lyrics and an artist that thinks her divaness, her shit don't stink, basically. Honestly, Ariana Grande has fallen flat. Her singing vocals are good in this, but the lyrics don't flow with the track. The lyrics don't connect with how the melody is sounding. It's sounding like a nice song, but if it were to have better lyrics, then maybe I would have liked it. Because she tries to throw in some shade about how, oh, I'm the victim, oh, everyone's talking crap about me and saying things that are not true. I'm like, you're a homewrecker. You really are. There's proven evidence about it. And if people want to go on this delusional train that there's not, fuck them. So, Ariana Grande is a piece of crap, and her new song, Hampstead, was a piece of shit. Fuck this track. Number 7 is AJR with the Big Goodbye. Another terrible one. I was not connecting with this one either. I was very displeased with the mixing and all that, and Jack's singing was cringe as hell. Worthy to be in my top 10 for sure. So, fuck AJR and fuck this track. Another terrible one. Number 6 is Rise Against with Ricochet. If only they made a better record. And they didn't. This is the title track for their new album, Ricochet, which is one of their worst records to date. I know a lot of people that were Rise Against fans were so let down by this album. It wasn't their best record, wasn't their best effort, and him singing did not sound good. And it sounded weird. It was not mixed well with his singing. It sounded like a loud microphone speaker that did not sound very well. So, it sounded cringe. That's my number 6. Number 5 is Avril Lavigne and Simple Plan with Young and Dumb. What a juvenile, delinquent piece of crap song that I heard back in May. It was terrible. This is Avril Lavigne's worst song to date. So it is in the top 5, and it is worthy to be in the top 5, because it's very bad. Very, very bad. Even Pierre from Simple Plan didn't even sound good either. It sounded cheesy with his juvenile lyrics, juvenile everything about this track. This track is made for like preteens and all that. There's just like, back when we were young and dumb and we knew everything. It's like, shut the fuck up and grow up and put your big britches on. Because this is shit music. Number 4 is Grimes with Artificial Angels. Grimes put out the worst track this year. I was so displeased with this track. The mixing was awful. Her singing was cringe. And I was not feeling for this track. I'm kind of gonna say I'm gonna throw away my fan card of Grimes. I like Miss Anthropamine or whatever that record was called. I forgot what that 2020 record was called, but I know it's been a long time since she dropped a single and new music. This was not good music. This was awful. I think she needs to step it up a bit or two and try a different approach with her music like she did with the last record, because that was something she was going for. Not anything great, but something good. This was a bad record, and fuck this track. Number 3 is Tom MacDonald and Roseanne Barr with Daddy's Home. Political songs again. This artist is so on my radar of fuck this guy. So, and Roseanne Barr's no one special. She's another Trump supporter, so fuck this bitch too. I don't like her. I don't like her singing, and her rapping in this was cringe as hell. This track was cringy as hell. So fuck this song. And fuck what it's representing. And the song's meaning is about Donald Trump. So, whatever. I don't care. Fuck this track. Fuck these two artists. Number 2 is Kesha with Boy Crazy. Not the worst song of the year, but the runner-up to it. Which you'll find out what the worst song of the year is, and I have a feeling I know what you're gonna think is the worst song of the year. And a lot of people would probably agree with me. Even if they don't agree with me, whatever. Who cares? Kesha Boy Crazy is cringe. Don't like the beat. I don't like her singing. She sounds like a drunken slut in this track. And it's not working. So, basically shut your bitch ass whore mouth up. And just do what you regularly do with your other singing on this record. Like I Am the One or I'm the One is probably a solid track, but is the only, and Delusional was another good one. Other than that, I was very displeased with Period. It was one of the worst records of the year, and it's not the worst record of the year, but I think it was the runner-up, if I'm not mistaken. So, Kesha Boy Crazy is terrible. Now to mention the dishonorable mentions, MGK with Cliche, another bad song that is for his Lost Americana album, was the first single to announce the Lost Americana record, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. And this track was very cringe. It was trying to sound pop trendy, and it wasn't working. And the last dishonorable mention is MGK again, with Iris Goo Goo Dolls cover featuring Julia Wolf. What the fuck were they thinking with this track? What a bad song. I'm not feeling for the melody. I'm not feeling for both MGK singing or Julia Wolf singing. It sounds awful. This is one of the worst songs of the year, and had to be in the dishonorable mentions. Unfortunately, I couldn't add it to the list, but it is what it is. And number 1, drum roll please. Falling in Reverse with All My Women featuring Hardy. Fuck this song. This is awful shit. And this is one of the worst Falling in Reverse tracks I've heard. And this man, Ronnie Radke, is no person to idolize at all. He is a piece of garbage. And Hardy to be in a track with him is not making himself look good over there, by the way, sir. So, what the fuck were you thinking, Ronnie? This is shit. This is horse crap. in a bowl. And this can go down the toilet drain. Like, I'm probably going to bring back toilet flush videos again pretty soon. Because I know you guys enjoyed it for the time that it was, but honestly, this is crap music. And this is the worst song of the year. So congratulations to Falling in Reverse, All My Women, featuring Hardy, to be the worst song nominated of 2025. Now that is going to be it for the worst songs of 2025. I hope you enjoyed the worst songs of 2025 end of the year video. The best songs is next. That'll be on Monday. So I'll premiere that Monday night or sometime before Monday night at midnight. So until then, I appreciate you guys watching. I will come at you for new reviews as soon as I can, but until then, thank you for watching this second end of the year video. And I got the third end of the year video coming out tomorrow for best songs of 2025, which will be a lot of videos, by the way. So I'm just warning you, there's going to be a lot of parts to the best songs of 2025. So multiple videos. It may take 4 or 5 videos or more, but I'll try to get it done as quick as I can. So with that note, I appreciate you guys watching the worst songs of 2025 video, and as always, I'll see you on my next review. Thanks for watching.